Hello, welcome back to Podium. Rich and Hannah here with another one of our previews ahead of the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. If you've missed out on any of the previous ones, they're all on the feed. We've got 5 preview episodes for you with the field events being split in 2. And this is going to be our jumps preview. And to help us look ahead, Andreas Trajkovski is with us, European Indoor Championships finalist, founder of Jumpers World. Andreas, you've been on the pod before. We're delighted to have you back on the podcast. And it's been a pretty good season for you, hasn't it? I mean, how do you sort of look back at it all?
I mean, so far so good. Very great seasons for me. Highlight of this season was to make the final at the European Indoor Champs, of course. Also getting a medal at the Balkan Championship with Tentoglu and Boshidar Starapokov. Makes it also very nice. Still needed the last 10 centimeters or 15 centimeters to break the 8-meter barrier, but I still think I can do it. So that's why I'm still going to keep going for next season. So.
Yeah, we really enjoy your sort of insatiable desire to compete. I mean, you're flying from one place to another all the time. And we're going to talk about those different looks, those different approaches to sort of preparing for a world champs in just a moment, because there are, if you look at some of the athletes who are lining up in Tokyo, there are different ways to go about preparing for a major champs. Let's get right stuck into this though. Let's start with the men's pole vault. So, I mean, usually it's a foregone conclusion, right? Mondo Duplantis with a 13th world record just last month. That was 6:29. But this year he's had a bit more competition in Manolo Karalis, hasn't he?
He has. I think Karalis is a great shape. I've been jumping 6 meters how many times now? Like plus 10 times this season. Showing very great consistency over 6 meters. Always been showing like you can jump when it matters. A big championship at Diamond Leagues. I actually got close to Mondo in the final kind of because they were fighting to get that 6:10. So I think Karalis is in a great shape. Everything can happen in track and field. Even though Mondo, of course, is a favorite to win, of course, as a world record holder and breaking world records 3 times this year. But I think it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see some great performances of both people. I think Mondo is going there to defend his title and do his best. I think it's gonna be great. So
Let's hear from Mondo, because he talked to me just in the mix zone in Zurich after the Diamond League final, and this is what he had to say.
The atmosphere is incredible out there today. There's always a lot of expectation around you, as you know. How do you deal with it? Do you feel the pressure?
You just, I don't know. That's what I'm paid to do, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, and I think I should be used to it by this point.
Do you enjoy it?
I love it. I love it so much, and I think pressure is such a privilege, and I feel so grateful to be out here and be in the position that I'm in every day. And I feel very hungry, and I feel like I always want to reinvent myself and keep proving myself every time on the track, because there's so many new people and new eyes that want to see me all the time. And I go to these competitions, and I broke a world record last week, but those people didn't see it, and they want to see something new, and they want me to give them something. And so I feel like I always have this constant motivation to keep pushing and keep trying to show the new people in whatever city that I'm in something good and something a good show. So no, it's like a performing artist, just going to every show and try to give what you can give.
Yeah, and we're really enjoying watching your battles, especially at the moment with Manolo. And he was talking to us about how he likes to. He's quite enjoying playing the game, the tactical game with you, and pushing you to force you to go one more to win a championship. Do you enjoy that? That must be something you really thrive on. That must help you get the energy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super nice. I think it's like just competition. It's sports, and I think it's just like I mean, he's jumping really fantastic, and I think it makes me a better jumper. And this year he's been so unbelievable, and I think it's made me up my game a little bit. I've had a great year, just as he's had an unbelievable year too, by any standards. So I think it's super sick that Manolo's pushing a bit to an even higher level with me, and I think that's good for everybody.
I mean, of course, everyone always expects a world record of Mondo, and he does like to rise to the occasion. He does like to put on these big performances. But I don't know. Do you think that's he's playing games though, Andreas? If he starts talking about world records, that means he's so far ahead of Karalis that I don't know. It's he hasn't had to play these sort of games with his competitors.
I don't think so. I mean, Mondo is Mondo. You know, Mondo has shown over the years that he's the man to beat. Like he's the one that's dominating the event, and I think Karalis agrees with me on this one as well. Everybody looks up to Mondo. Everybody knows Mondo, and everybody knows that he's capable of jumping way higher than 625. So 626 or 625, correct? Yeah, 625. He always breaks records all the time, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's just gets more and more.
I'm kinda like,
629
yeah.
at the moment. 629.
Sorry, 629. My God, 629.
We'll forgive you.
So, you know, I can tell like from experience, I think, you know, he's his own rival. I think he's going to just say, look, I'm trying to get better next time. I'm trying to be myself. And I think that's what he's going to do for the World Championship. I think he looked himself and say, look, I got all the tools to jump hard, to jump high. I got all the tools to go out there and, you know, probably make a big performances again like he did in Paris Olympics. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be amazing. So
if just for me, like, there's one more thought on this rivalry between Mondo and Karalis. If you're looking at Mondo, we're just looking for him to repeat what he's done at every championships. And I think when you're asking an athlete just to repeat what they're used to, that's a lot more comfortable rather than looking at Karalis and you're looking to him for him to do something he's never done before. If you're a betting man, yeah, surely it's got to be Mondo every time.
Of course. I mean, it seems just crazy to say like he's still over 20 centimeters better than the Karalis in the pole vault, which is ridiculous. It's like saying a 780 jumper against an 830, 825 jumper. You know, it's a, you know, if Karalis was jumping before Mondo, like let's say Karalis' performances was before Mondo was born, he will be talked about every competition. Everybody always like, oh, Karalis is the one to beat. Now we are in a different scenario now where we have someone called Mondo Duplantis who continues to jump 6 meters or 100 times his career so far, like 100 times. Imagine that, 100 times plus over 6 meters. It's ridiculous to think about. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's amazing. So.
It's like riding a bike, isn't it, for Duplantis, doing doing anything over 6 meters. But yeah, we've been saying it all season long. The only way Karalis can get on terms with Duplantis is to disrupt the rhythm of his competition, and that's something he talked to Rich about in the mix zone in Zurich.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it doesn't feel as hard as it was mentally to jump over 6 on the first time. Now it's slowly getting a bit easier. My mental barriers I've surpassed those mental barriers, and as long as my limits. I don't have a specific number, so I hope, as I said, I had a good attempt on 610. Hopefully, in the future, I'm going to be able, to surpass all the big goats like Lavillenie and Bufka. So yeah, but I want to go one step at a time. I want to be healthy. I want to go to Tokyo, do what I hope I want to do, and yes, we will see.
What we're enjoying watching as well is that Mondo has got something to think about at the moment, and you're quite good at playing the tactics. So you read the card well, and you throw in the challenges. Do you go? Do you know what? Then you'll shoot for a bar that you've not cleared before and say you go and do it.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I have a great team. I have a great support system around me. I have my family. I have my coaches that are there to tactic the competition out. And yes, I think I'm getting good on those kind of games. I hope in Tokyo we will do something good, and hopefully the tactics will make me very happy.
So he's still learning the game, Karalis, as to how to put the pressure on Duplantis. The thing is, though, I mean, Mondo just seems to be being pushed to another level by having this competition. So although it feels like the pressure could get to him, could be put back on him because Karalis is playing the games. If he's got one failure at one height, he'll go up another height. So it means that, as Hannah was saying, the rhythm can be disrupted, and it's not, because usually it's all on Mondo's terms, right? He just wins it and then he just tries to get another world record and he's just all on his own. It's all eyes on him. But he doesn't seem to be phased by that. He's actually embraced it, which is a concern for his rivals, because then it's just going to go even... a world record again in Tokyo is very possible, isn't it? And it sounds like it's what he wants.
For sure. I mean, if you see his clearances on the other world records, I think there's still room to get, like room to spare. I think that I think he knows that he can jump high. Even his father said he can jump over 640 in his career, which is absurd if you ask me. But but it's amazing to follow his journey, and still he's so young. Like the kid is still very like in his 20s, like early 20s, like mid 20s, early 20s. Like it's ridiculous. It's you know, if he follows me, like he's gonna peak when he's 32. You know, so if he's 32, then who knows? The sky's the limit for this kid.
So there's only two men who've gone over 6 meters this year. I mean, Sam Kendricks had done it last year going into the Olympics so I mean those top two, right? And then it's sort of up for grabs for the bronze, you'd imagine. Let's go over to the women's pole vault. Nina Kennedy, the Olympic and joint world champion, she had said that she was going to go. We're recording this the week before we fly out to Tokyo, and at the start of the week she was very, very bullish and saying, right, I'm going to go. She says about having her inner mongrel and I'm just going to get there. And then overnight, since we're recording this, she's pulled out. So Nina Kennedy will not be in the pole vault. And then we look at the world lead. So it's 485. It's 486 when you put Russian competitors in there as well. But 485, Molly Cordery and Katie Moon. So they're the eligible ones. How do you look at this? Because I mean, Moon has the experience as the world champion. Cordery has a bit of a major event trauma because she didn't get to the final in Paris, and there was lots of expectations around her. But would you see it between those two, perhaps?
I mean, most definitely. I don't see. It's kind of hard because pole vault, like, there's no like really domination going on right now in the pole vault. Like there's no one that just say, "Oh, I jump 5 meters right now, 5.95." You know, it's very close. But I think Diamond League winner Moon, right? She won the Diamond League, correct? Yeah, I think she will be the favorite to win. And that's my opinion. I think she's been showing great consistency this year, and if we were also missing Sandy Morris, who hasn't come, who's not going to the World Championship. So yeah, I see Sandy Morris. I don't believe she is. Actually, it's a good question. Yeah. I don't think Sandy is.
I think because we've got four US. I think we've got Katie Moon as a wild card.
Morris is there.
Both the Mole twins, which I'm interested to see the Mole twins because I think it was Amanda Mole jumping very high indoors, but it's a whole new platform for her to try and compete on. I think you're right there, Andreas. I think Katie Moon's a favourite because of that experience, and I think she's competed sparingly. She's mentioned her Achilles. But I think she's competed just enough to check in with her form, and she'll be emotionally and physically fresh for me when we get to Tokyo. Molly Cordery's been hampered a bit by niggles, like her frequency of competition's been affected by that, but she seems more frustrated by that. Whereas Katie Moon's gone, sure, I can probably compete 5-6 times. That's enough, and then I'll go to Tokyo. So it's it could be close between those two, but you feel like the experience under pressure with Moon's gonna play through.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the experience, like if you have a good experience, you would know to top when it matters, to compete when it matters, most, then you are definitely one of these people to go for after. Yeah.
No, when we look at field events, and you've got someone that's inexperienced, do you think that's less likely to, you see you've got a young up and coming person, perhaps in endurance when we look at that, they could punch through and do something you weren't expecting. But field, when you're out there in the arena with the pressure of qualification, the pressure of all those attempts, do you need championship experience? How important is that?
It's a good question. I see it like this. People can jump very far outside, in their country, and they can have a big season's best of 840, 850, or whatever. Now we talk about the long jump. But if you don't have no experience with competing when it matters, like jumping far when it matters a championship, then I don't look at this person as a real competitor for a potential medal contender. That's my opinion. I think, of course, people can surprise. People can have a surprising, like where they come in and they have not experienced by World Championship, but they're young, they're talented, they want this. They have probably a great history from the junior ranking, for the under 23 ranking, and they haven't really been into the senior ranking before. But those people can actually surprise. But again, I'm looking more into the consistency of the season, who has been consistent, but also who has actually performed at the global championship. That's where I look at that.
But that's very different, isn't it? Kind of the comparison you make there, Hannah, when you talk about endurance. I guess you do things in the moment, don't you? You don't have to think about it so much. You just go with the race. You have to. There's no sort
it's
of.
Like if you can get yourself on the start line, fine. Then anything can happen. I mean, that's a battle. But I feel like when you're sitting there trying to take attempt after attempt in an arena you've never been in, it's
the thinking, isn't it? It's the thinking.
Too much thinking.
Exactly. It's being able to compose yourself, Andreas. It's such a massive skill.
Yeah, it is. It's a mental thing. It's a mental game. Only I can say from now on, like people. My first indoor European Championship was here this year, actually, in the Apple Dome. I've been competing to European Championship on the 20s, on the 18, on the 23, and I make the final every time because I know that I compete when it matters the most. I like the pressure. I like to compete with the best. So when you go into a senior championship, it's a whole different vibe. Like you see people like that's been winning medals at the World Championship, the European Championship. You see the greatest jumpers there or athletes. It's a big difference competing from the European juniors to the seniors, I think, if you ask me. But if you can control the pressure, I think it's going to be fine. So, yeah.
Let's talk about your event then, Andreas. So from competing against these guys and seeing them on the circuit, I mean, Tentoglu's got the world lead, 8:46. Again, if we're talking about experience, then he's done it all. And he's obviously the favorite going into Tokyo. But who would be your tip? Don't say Tentoglu. So I mean, it's
actually this is the event that I've been looking forward to the most to talk about this on this podcast because as a jumper myself, I know all these people personally. I've been competing with them. I've seen them. I have been talking with some of the agents on there, like how's it going with them, the coaches. I would say this. Miltos has had a great season, like winning the European Team Championship with the world lead. He has been showing great consistency outdoors after a little bit messy indoor season. He told me he was struggling with his approach and his push to the last steps. But we saw the Diamond League final here in Zurich. Yeah, Zurich, where he struggled a lot. People are concerned about him jumping 760s. Like doesn't look like the healthy Tentoglu. I know that he's been struggling with Achilles injury, some problems with Achilles after the Balkan Championship in where I jumped with him. So I don't know the status right now, but I will never count out Miltos. Never. I will never count out a champion. I will never count out a double Olympic champion because I know that he's going to show up no matter what. He has a mental strain that no one else has. Like he knows how to perform what matters. And so I will put Miltos as in top 3 with me. Then second, I will do with Liam Adcock from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because, a lot of people doesn't know who Liam is, like Liam Adcock is. Only after World Indoor Championship and the Diamond League in Rome where he jumped 8:34. But that guy can run fast. That guy can jump consistency over 8:10, 8:20 every single competition. He just needed one big jump, and I know he can do it. So I think he's a medal contender for sure. And then, of course, Fulani, the young talent, I will never count him out. I think also he can win. Like all these 3 guys can win. And of course, Simon Ayhamad. It is just so hard to put a top 3 for me. No. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
Because if I have to, I will. If I have to, it's no hard feelings. I like these guys. They're my friends, buddies, everything. But if I have to put top 3, I would say Fulani, Adcock, and Tentoglu.
Yeah. Because I think you're right about in that order. Or
it's hard because I know they're
gonna
I know they're gonna see this, and I'm like, but I just don't want to put like kind of like a number or like a limit to them, because I know they can perform well, and all these guys can jump far.
And I think you're really right. And when you were talking about the experience, so you've got Liam Adcock. Yes, you're right. He's not a household name. He's not done what Tentoglu's done, but he has the experience. Like he has been in high pressure situations time and time again, whether it's over in Oceanic Championships or something like that. And Fulani, yes, he's young, but again, he's been in major championship finals more than enough times to be reliable.
The youngest Olympic medalist in the long jump, 19 years old. I mean, that guy has won medals that people are dreaming about doing in the end of the career, like he's still so young. I think it's gonna be between those. I'm just saying 4 guys. I'm just not surprised if anyone else gonna jump first. It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be. But if I had to bet my money, I will say this. So yeah.
Well, and I'm delighted that Hammer can do the long jump and the decathlon. I'm so excited that's in the program. So he can do the long jump first, have a couple of days recovery, and then do the decathlon as a backup, as a bit of fun. I think
he's amazing. He's an amazing guy. He's an amazing jumper. He's a long jumper who can do 9 other events.
Yeah,
that's that's my take on it. Like he might be a great decathlete, but he's an incredible long jumper. Like the way he's running through the runway, the power through takeoff, and his hang time is it's amazing. When I started jumping last year, the European Championship in Rome, when he jumped 840 in the 840 plus in the qualification, just ridiculous, amazing. So I will definitely say that he's definitely also a medal contender because he's always also been in the major championship final in Budapest. He was kind of like foul over between top 3 position in Budapest, I will say, but due to the rule about rolling, he got a red flag. That's another story.
He seems like quite a nice down to earth guy as well, Andreas. I saw him. He won the Diamond League final, and I was walking back about an hour later, back to the train station, and I was just walking along the river, and then the tram stopped next to me, and I looked to my right, and he was just in the tram, just on his own. Just taking the tram back to where he was there.
He's a great guy. He's a humble guy. He's a very humble guy, very nice guy. Actually, I met him the first time at European in Championship in Rome. Not even that tall. I thought he was taller, but he's shorter than me. I was like, okay, if you can jump 840, then there's no excuse for me to jump 8 meters because I've always thought I was too short to jump 8 meters. When I saw this guy jumping that far, I'm like, okay, no more.
Is there a dark horse, Andreas, outside of those 4 that you've mentioned? Is there someone who could just creep in that we've not mentioned already into the podium places?
Never count out Bochidar Sarabukov. Never count out that guy.
He's not done much. He's not done much since Appledorn, really, though.
No, but you know what happened? You know what happened to him?
I know something must have happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the Diamond League in Rome, he was going to open up his outdoor season. He twisted his ankle doing warm up. That's why he didn't jump there. Yeah. And I was like, why he's not jumping? He did not start, but he was on the warm up. But then he got back. He jumped 8 meters, 12, 11 at the national championship in Bulgaria. So I still think he can go out there and pull out a 30 plus jump. I know he can.
He's so stubborn as well, isn't he? I just feel like he just gets so angry.
Also, we quite like watching the rivalry between him and Fulani. If we can see more of that, that's great.
That for sure, 100%. But I still think that it's an open game. Like people can there's all these 36 jumpers has qualified for the World Championship. All these 36 jumpers can do something, But of course, those 4 or 5 guys we spoke about, I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, and one thing which we can move on to the women's long jump as well. But one question for me, there's a real chance of wet conditions in Tokyo. Like there seriously is. We've talked about the conditions in some of the endurance events with the humidity, but rain is a real possibility for a lot of these field events. Is that like a leveler? Does that make it kind of unpredictable if you have tricky conditions?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you saw in Lausanne, that was probably extreme.
I was there. It was very extreme.
Oh, really? That was probably extreme.
But I think that's the kind of rain we'll get. I mean, if it rains in Tokyo, it will rain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It will be short and sharp.
But
I think it's like, I mean, it'd be a heavy downpour which would last. I don't think it would last the entire meeting like the Lausanne one, but it would just be short, sharp, complete change the game.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, then it's wide open. I think. I mean, that's why I think it's very important to train in bad weather conditions outdoors. Don't always train when the sun is outside. Like train when it's going to be bad weather because you never know. And look, the World Championship, if you know that you've been training outside in full rain, jumping full approaches, then you can do it. So Trajkovski did this. Like Trajkovski said in an interview a long time ago, I'm prepared for any conditions. So it's all about like who can jump and who doesn't care about this weather, who can just go out there and say, I trust the board, it's not slippery. I can just go out there and take off and jump hard. That's what I think. So
Yeah.
When it comes to the women's competition, Tara Davis-Woodall has the world lead, 7 meters 12, and of course she goes into it as the favourite. She probably would do anyway, just about. But she's not competed since the US champs. As I was saying earlier on, you compete a lot. Like, you like to keep yourself going all the time. But she's someone who hasn't got as much competition in her legs this year. Is there any kind of, I'm just trying to find storylines here again. Is there any way that she could go into it then undercooked? Because it would have been, I don't know, 6 weeks since she last had a comp, I think, maybe more.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what's going on. Maybe she has a minor setback in training or injury. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. Her coach is my former coach, Travis Gefford. And I know his training structure about the whole season, and I know he's gonna get her ready for the world champs. I know, 4 or 5 competitions is enough, I think, because she doesn't have any medal or any points to chase to qualify for the world championship. She's the winner of the USATF, so she got her card there. But I think it's gonna be an interesting competition. I mean, of course, Tara is the favorite to win as Olympic champion, but we have Malika Mihambo and we have Larissa Ibaquino also as a medal contender, which is just my top 3 I just mentioned right now. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting, I think.
Yeah, we quite enjoyed watching the battles as well between Ibaquino and Mihambo, and it's only a centimetre in it at the Diamond League final. Ibaquino edging it just ahead of Mihambo. So those two have been going at it a little bit more recently. And then we've got, so I think you've already picked your top 3. Have you? I mean, Claire Bryant. Okay.
I didn't say the order.
What's the order? Because you also got Claire Bryant, who's had a breakthrough year really internationally.
Yeah. Claire Bryant has been showing great also consistency all season, but and she won the world indoor champ, so she can perform also when it matters. But she's not a 7-meter jumper. All these 3 girls I mentioned is a 7-meter jumper. They know how to jump 7 meters, which I know it's going to take to win. It's going to take over 7:10 to win this championship if the conditions are good. Yeah. Because that track is very fast, as you probably seen at the Tokyo Olympics. So all these 3 ladies are fast jumpers, speed jumpers. So I expect them to jump very far. I think 1, 2, 3 is going to go 7 meters.
And I think Claire Bryant is super reliable for a 690, isn't she? She is.
She can also jump close to 7 meters if she get a good jump. But I just haven't seen her we haven't seen her jump 7 meters yet. But I will not count her out at all. So.
When I feel like Iapakino is just doing this, coming on the right side of these close finishes. I feel like previously in her career, she's maybe been the 1 or 2 centimeters behind in second place, and she's just flipped that, at the Diamond Leagues and things like that. And like you say, getting comfortable over 7 meters. So I kind of feel like if there's, last year I would have backed Mihambo under a pressure situation, to find an extra 3 centimeters. But I'm kind of looking at Iapakino and thinking she can hold her own now. In round 4, round 5, when you're hunting down a few centimeters.
Yeah, I mean, Larissa, she has some big jumps at the Diamond League here in so the previous Diamond League. She jumped like over 7 meters, but like a little scratch. So she has she can pull out a big jump. I think. I think it all depends when you do it, because usually when you see Larissa jumping, it's usually her first jump. She jumps the best. Also, Tara. The first 3, 4 jumps is where they're gonna jump the best, and then it's kind of like fade out a little bit. Where Mihambo, she can jump 670, and then at the Olympics in 21, pull out a 7-meter jump in the last shot. So that, like I said, it's wide open. I just had to see the qualification round 2 first, because it's also to show like, okay, how easy was that to jump? But again, we're
not gonna let you get away with it quite that easy though, Andreas. So just before we move on to the triple jump, can you give us your order in the top 3 then? just to predictions, his fantasy
You
long jump.
Larissa and I, we share the same agent. So I can't,
You have to say Larissa, okay.
So Larissa first, Para, and Mihambo.
Okay, cool. And you can listen to our interview with Larissa Diapakino on the feed. She was one of the first guests that we had on this podcast, and it's a really good listen as well. So you can go back and check that out if you haven't already. All right, let's move on to the triple jump, and and in the men's and women's competition, it's the usual suspects. It's Cuban athletes, essentially, whether they're representing Cuba or another country, who are sort of dominating at the moment. How do you look at this? Because I mean, Andy Diaz has he jumped 1780, didn't he, to win the world indoors, first attempt, and then just checked out. And he also comes into
put his sunglasses on and checked out.
Yeah, basically. And then he also won. He also going to Tokyo, having just won the Diamond League final 2. And the fact that you've got Jordan Diaz, who he's barely competed this year. He's got knee problems, I think, hasn't he? And I think he's how much has he competed? Once, I think.
One time. I think he jumped 17, 11, 17, national champ. Yeah, 17. I think.
And then you've got Pedro Pichardo, who has jumped season's best 1747 to come second at the Diamond League final. So you've got those three. Is Andy Diaz the one then? Just if you're looking on form at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, he jumped 1780 indoor season, like this indoor at the World Championship. I mean, he's going to be the favorite to win for this one. But I still, like I said, we never know Jordan Diaz. He was taped up at the European Championship and at the Olympics with his hamstring and still managed to jump 18 meters. You never know what's going to happen. It's just, I don't know.
You feel like Jordan Diaz he's got to qualify in one jump and then do 2 jumps in the final, and that's all he can rely on, right? Wasn't it Steve Hooker, the pole vaulter? Didn't he win the world champs with like 2 jumps once in the pole vault? He had like half a hamstring. Yeah, I feel like Diaz has got to be very deliberate with the energy in Tokyo.
Yeah, but then again, we have a guy named Pedro Pichardo, who has jumped 1790 there at Tokyo, so he knows the track, so he knows, he has been jumping on before. I mean, there's so many athletes that can actually go there and make a surprise. I mean, even, I don't think you guys have thought about this one, but the guy Yasser from Algeria.
Yeah, tricky. Yeah.
Tricky, because you saw him jumping 1745, 1744 here at the Diamond League. That guy, he performs also when it matters. He's a great competitor when it matters, a championship. I will not count him out as a medal contender. I will not. I will definitely put him into the medal contender. And then of course we have, defending champion, but I haven't seen that much this year from him. He has announced his retirement, like what's his name? Hugo's Hugo's.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah. Fabrice Sango. But again, think about the Chinese guy Ru Qingwu, who jumped 1768 this year. In China, Asian record, I mean, it's just, I haven't seen him jumping consistent over 1750. It's just I don't know, but I think it's gonna be interesting. So
no, I think you make an interesting point about the consistency, and we know Andy Diaz, Jordan Diaz, Pedro Pichardo. If Jordan Diaz is healthy, we're good there. But I think you make a really good point about Tricky, because he's similar to Liam Adcock in that he's been in the high pressure situations. He's just trying to find 15, 20 centimeters, isn't he?
He's a joker. He's a joker. He's a joker.
Oh, really?
I think he is. Like, I honestly, like, Tricky has been competing in NCAA system here in America while I was actually there, and if you jump 1740 at the Olympics, if you PR at the championship, then you are someone to look out for, because you may not know about much about him, but I think he's gonna go out there and make a statement. I think so. He'll be in my top 3. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting, I know. But we'll see. I know.
Who's doing the triple jump men's final, Rich? Is that you or Katie?
That is me.
Yeah. In Tokyo, Rich will be on the dedicated feed for that. So he's all
be,
Who are you guys top 3? If you can ask.
I think it's too much to ask for Jordan Diaz, because I think he's. I just think he's. I realize what he can do, but obviously some serious fitness issues there, and not much competition. And I think it's also this is his first World Championships as representing Spain as well. So I know he's done it at the Olympics, but he's been at the World Champs before for Cuba. But this is so he's got all these extra pressures that are all on there. Yeah, I would go. Again, I think it depends on the conditions, because if you throw someone like Jordan Scott in there, if he's sort of shown that he can compete with all these.
Jordan Scott.
And Jordan's gone from 17:08, a PB lasted from 2019. Then he proved that this year to 17:34 in Bislett Games, and then again 17:52 in Monaco.
Is he another NCAA kind of product as well in terms of delivering under pressure? Like
that's the thing, but here's the thing: has he competed at the World Championships before? Like, has he made any medal before? I don't think she has, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
Whereas Tricky's been very close. Like Tricky's been super close.
Tricky has been so close.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, it's open. It's very open. Any one of these guys can get a medal. But again, I'm not saying the others cannot. But I think the top three will be. So mine top three is Pichardo.
Yeah.
It's what's his name? Second guy name. Pichardo and Diaz, and then Tricky.
Okay.
It's a shame we won't get to see. I mean, I would definitely would have put in Jaden Hibbert in there as well, but obviously the fact that he's switching around to Turkey means that we're not going to see him there. In the women's triple jump, and this might date by the time it gets there, but let's just throw it in there anyway. Yunamar Rojas has not actually ruled herself out yet. She's technically entered, not competed since 2023, so doubts about whether she'll be there at all. So let's sort of skip over that in case she's not there. I don't know where she's going to be. But again, Cubans dominating this. Leonis Perez is the Diamond League winner. She got the world lead as well, 1492. Agnes Povea, 1484. I think they go into it as the favourites, those two. But you've got the likes of Dea Fond, the Olympic champion. Mm-hmm. She's not been at her best this season, but had a season's best in Zurich at least. So she goes into Tokyo with some improved form, and then you can't also rule out the likes of Shanika Ricketts as well, who will be desperate to get a gold. She's got 2 world silvers and Olympic silver, always the bridesmaid.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between these three: Lafond, Hernandez, and Ricketts. That's what I think it's going to be between these three. I haven't seen, if you go to the ranking, you look at the season's best, they're dropping like 20 centimeters to the 4th or 5th place, as season's best goes. So 50 meters is, of course, the barrier I think it will take to win for sure. But again, you don't count out an Olympic champion, because it's Lafond can really, if she gets it right, I think she can make a surprise. So.
And I think last year we had Lafond get it right in Glasgow for the World Indoors, then get it right in Paris. But that's not I would love to think that can happen again, but I haven't seen enough flashes, unless I've missed some, I don't know, really close fouls that were, in 1490s, which I haven't seen on any footage or anything. But I think Leonis Perez Hernandez, she has to have the most number of 1485 to 1495 jumps in the last 24 months. Like that consistency is really there for her. But has she medaled at a major event?
Hernandez?
Yeah. I think she's due a breakthrough. She's due a title, but you're still asking her to do something she's not done, versus Ricketts, who's on the podium the whole time.
Hernandez won the World Indoor. She won the World Indoor Championship.
Okay, yeah.
So, and she won the World Indoor Silver also, and she has a World Championship Bronze also. So
okay, all right. So she has got the podium pedigree and the current form. So I think she.
And she's a 15 meter jumper, 15-16 as a PR. So it's. Okay. I would put her as the first, and I'll put I will put Ricketts, and then I'll put Taylor Fun.
Yeah,
but I hope Ricketts. I actually hope she's gonna win Ricketts, because she's been winning silver. So it's
I think also with the Cubans, you got to also bear in mind the extra pressure that they have, as a nation, from the ruling parties. Basically, that's the case. It's just that there is an extra pressure to deliver, which is why we have seen people move away from Cuba. So I think you can't count that out as I don't want to get too political about it, but you can't count that out as an added pressure when it gets to a major champs. We can skirt over that from there, but that's just one thing.
Can I mention something? I actually want to mention this at the men's long jump, but he was one spot away to qualify Echevarria from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
If he was at the championship, I will put him top 3.
Yeah.
Would you? Who would you then? Yeah.
I will do it for one reason. And hear me out. I don't know if you agree. It doesn't matter. We can agree to disagree. But if you look at his previous 4 competitions, it's been between 8:15 to 8:27. The last, and that's very consistent for him. He's also a very great championship jumper when it comes to that. And I know for a fact that if he stood at the same approach that he lost to the second best jump from Tokyo against Titola, he will not let that happen again. So if he was there, I would put him at top 3.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen the official start list yet? Because I haven't seen the official one.
Yet.
No,
because
no.
Because he can be the one. He can. Someone can pull out and he could be called
surprise,
up. You know.
Yeah.
So please, if he comes in on the list, then my top 3. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Right. Just a high jump left to go over then. And in the men's competition, as we record this again, questions over Gianmarco Tamberi. I think we saw such a character anyway, so I think he'll be there. But he's not injured. He's just talked a lot about not going to Tokyo because of his form. 220, his best this season. But he's the Olympic champion in Tokyo, joint Olympic champion, obviously from there, and it's good memories. I can't see him. I can't see him not going. I think he's just, like I say, he's a character, and he likes to. He's a big talker. So I think he'll be there. There's also doubts about Mutaz Essa-Barshim, only 1 comp this season, and based on that, does Hamish Kerr maybe go in as the favourite because he's got the experience of winning the Paris Olympics, of course. He dug himself out of a hole, and he seems like he's pretty relaxed too. I mean, he's jumped 233 recently,
and won a Diamond League trophy, the final. So I mean, for me, he's definitely the favorite to win for the world title. We haven't seen Tamberi or Bashim being consistent over 230 this season. Like they both have been struggling with injuries and becoming a father, also fatherhood for Tamberi.
Mm-hmm.
So that plays also probably a role in this because as a father myself, I know what's going through your head when you become a father in the middle of the season. But Kerr, I would say, and then maybe also the American high jumper Shelby. Could be a probably middle contender. But what about Wu?
I was going to say Wu because I mean the support that he's going to have from neighbouring Korea as well. You remember that's it. This is quite a close. This is maybe the closest he'll get to a home champs. So I mean he's going to have a lot of that crowd behind him.
Yeah.
You think about the amount of Koreans as well who live in Japan.
A lot, probably. Yeah, I mean Wu, of course, he's a champion as well, and he's a world indoor champion from China. So.
And he feeds off the crowd energy, doesn't he? He is one who really embraces the crowd.
Oh yeah,
really. Yeah. If we lose Tamberi, at least we get Wu, right? For atmosphere.
Exactly. But I think it's going between Kerr and Wu to take the title, and then a lot of things can happen. Also, the Ukrainian high jumper I think also has a yes. Mm-hmm. But again, high jump is not my specialty in terms of I follow the event, of course, but you could probably hear my long jump is way more exciting to talk about.
No, absolutely. And so we'll just close off with the women's high jump as well then, and we'll Nicola Olyslagers has the world lead, 2 meters and 4 centimeters. She set that in Zurich. Seems to have got her season spot on. Let's hear from Nicola. I caught up with her again in Zurich after winning that Diamond League title.
It's a great opportunity and it's a great experience to be at a world lead before world champs. I mean, that's what every coach's dream is for their athlete. But again, I know that I'm keeping the main thing. Like when I no-hided in 2017 at my first world championships, I realized that God's making this amazing story in my life, and there is a possibility of getting on the top, and that would be a full circle moment. But even if I don't, I know that I'm loved outside of that, and so I know I've got work to do still if I really want to see the best happen in Tokyo. So we'll see.
Says Nicola Olyslagers. You can listen to the whole interview that we recently did with her again. That's also on the feed, and it's a really, really good listen. I know we're a bit biased, but it was a good listen. Just going through her processes and how she's sort of managed this long season. So, I mean, Olyslagers went into the World Indoors and won that off the back of no warm-up competitions at all. But Yaroslava Mahuchik, we're talking about that champion mentality. She's not jumped over 2 meters 2 this season. She's still pretty good. but as a champion who knows what you're doing, I mean, she's the sort of person, isn't she, that can just pull it out the bag when she needs it?
Of course. I mean, when you look at her statistics and her resume, there's no doubt that she's probably the favorite to win. Even though that Nicola from Australia also has a big, shown great consistency this year and jumping over 2 meters in the Diamond League in the final, ridiculous. Something that we really needed in this high event, because I think like it's been really back in the day where it's been the Lassiskine between Yaroslav and Lassiskine, these two be competing each other. Now we have more people coming up now, so I think it's going to be interesting. We got young talent Topic from Serbia. She is actually in my top 3, and I think I hope actually she's gonna hear this, but I think she had a chance to jump 2 meters at Tokyo. I think she will break 2 meters very soon.
I think Topic is a really good shout. If you remember, like that heartbreak from Paris, where she qualified super well but broke her foot in qualification. Heartbreak for her.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, but she's not competed that much this year. Do you think she's trying to protect her body and trying to make sure she can make it all the way to Tokyo, and that we've not seen kind of the best of her this season so far?
I think so. I mean, she's been jumping, of course, the Diamond Leagues, and but she has been consistent over 190, and I think her father is kind of like protecting her of getting too much, load on, and just really waiting for the big event, of course, Tokyo. So I will definitely, I will not count her out as a medal contender at all. Winning, I think it will take between 203, 205 to win. Depending on the clearances, it's a first 10, but if you're straight out, just clear first 10 throughout, I think you're a good spot.
I think that bronze medal is going to go to the cleaner scorecard, and you've got Morgan Lake, Christina Honsel, Yulia Levchenko, all on 2 meters. Patterson's been on every podium since 2022, but Topic is good at a clean card. I feel like she's one of those athletes that's good at first time clearances.
Morgan can also surprise. She jumped 2 meters for the first time, the first person in Great Britain or England, or just overall to jump.
Yeah, Britain overall. 2 meters, yeah.
So we'll see, but I think it'll be interesting.
I think if Olyslagers and Mahuchik, I think you're right. They've got to push up to the 2 3s to 2 5s, and then it's a clean scorecard gets you that bronze. I think in maybe 201, something like that. But no, thank you so much, Andreas, for all your expertise on this jumps preview for Tokyo. It's brilliant to talk to someone who knows the sport inside and out and has such enthusiasm. So thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you so much.